India is building airports faster than most countries lay metro lines. And that single fact captures the scale of what's happening in the Indian aviation industry right now. We've become the third largest aviation market in the world. Domestic flyers, they're set to cross 170 million this year and heading towards 300 million by 2030. In just one decade, India has gone from 74 operational airports to 157, racing towards 200 in the near term. It's not just growth, it's a transformation of how India flies, travels, trades, and connects. And this momentum is powered by low-cost carriers contributing 70% plus market share, public-private investments which are massive, and a middle class that's taking to the air than ever before. But numbers are only the surface. What does the exponential growth of aviation industry of India actually mean for airlines, airports, ground handling, investors, and India's 2030 vision? To explore that today, I'm joined with Vinita, Nath, Senior Manager of the Research and Consulting team, and Riddhi Bali, Consultant of the Mergers and Acquisition team at YNS. They'll share their take on the expansion, bottlenecks, and infrastructure pressures and emerging opportunities in the aviation industry. If you want to understand where the Indian aviation sector is heading and the trends that it will observe in the next decade, stay with us on episode 3 of Market Mindset with YNS. Let's start with the big picture. India is adding passengers, airports, and capacity at a pace that the whole world is watching. Vinita, if you had to pick one major driver which is behind India's aviation boom today, what would it be and why?
All right. I would pick up rising middle class income as the single most important driver. Everything else, new airports, airline expansion in tier 2, tier 3 cities, government policies like the Udan scheme, infrastructure investments, all are responsible to this fundamental shift in the purchasing power. Numbers also tell a similar story. Domestic air passenger traffic has gradually increased and or has been in the range of 10 to 15% over the past decade. That's far outpacing country's GDP growth as well. The domestic traffic is projected to reach 170 million in FY25. Interestingly, Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities account for 40% of the domestic traffic. It was close to 18% in the year 2019. So it has more than doubled in the past 5 years. So I believe the future of Indian aviation is taking off from cities such as Indore, Bhubaneswar, Coimbatore, Ayodhya. So these cities are reshaping India's skies.
Makes complete sense with how the domestic flyers are growing. Riddhi, with India expected to reach 300 million passengers by 2030, which segment do you think is showing the strongest momentum amongst domestic, international, and even cargo?
Statistically speaking, as you mentioned, that the Indian travelers are now going to increase by 300 million by 2030. I think the growth in aviation industry is fueled by domestic travel. When you see North and South, both the cohorts, you combine them, it amounts to be the largest share of the domestic travel in India. Hence, I would say the share of domestic travel is far greater than that of international. When it comes to cargo, I would say that the growth is steady. It is continuing to grow. But I think the scale is significantly smaller. So my answer would be, I think the domestic sector is, I think, fueling the most of Indian aviation growth.
I think the domestic base is truly powering this market ahead. India now has 157 operational airports with a massive thrust towards the public-private ownership-led development, ground handling, ramp services, safety checks, cargo, and compliance. These are the invisible sources which are keeping the system moving. India's airport expansion is happening at a rapid pace. Which upcoming airport, be it the Navi Mumbai airport, Noida, or any regional hub, do you think will have the biggest connectivity, Vinita?
Okay. So the Navi Mumbai airport is solving congestion problem of an already connected city of Mumbai. The Noida airport, on the other hand, Jewar airport, it has created an entirely new aviation hub for North India's most underserved region. Located 75 kilometers from Delhi, the airport serves NCR, Western UP, Rajasthan, Haryana. And these areas are massive aviation staffed catchment areas. The scale of the airport is also breathtaking. Currently, 12 million passengers initially, and it will scale up to 70 million passengers. There are 6 runways, so it's easily India's largest airport. Another exciting thing, it's a multi-modal hub with metro and high-speed rail reducing travel time to Delhi close to 21 minutes, plus cargo and MRO facilities. So I'd say it's not just about moving people. The airport is unlocking an entire region's economic potential. Cities across Western UP and Rajasthan, which were heavily dependent upon Delhi, has suddenly a modern alternative. So I would say that's transformative connectivity.
And we're also observing early excitement from the operators and investors for sure for these airports. Riddhi, among all the behind the scene operations, baggage handling, ramp services, cargo, and even safety checks, which one do you think is absolutely critical, but it rarely gets the attention?
In my opinion, I think technology is the most important aspect when it comes to all the other aspects that you mentioned. Everything from baggage to logistics to security is somehow or the other related with technology. Going forward, I think since now we see some of the airports still have some manual logistics attached to the operations, but going forward, I think more advancements in technology, AI, etc., would help in creating more efficiency, would create in less hassles with the growing number of travelers. Everything can come to a halt if there is a technical glitch, as we recently saw at the Delhi airport. And to avoid that, I think not just one layer, but multiple layers of good technology with backups is the way to go forward.
Absolutely. And most people don't realize how these invisible processes actually shape the entire passenger experience. With multiple airport contracts expiring between 2026 to 2033, and private operators are leading more than 65% of the new development, the next decade is definitely opening new investment opportunities for GHAs, PPPs, and tech providers. As the airport transitions to PPP-led models, where do you see, Vinita, the strongest investment opportunity in the Indian aviation ecosystem for now?
All right. The clearest mid to long-term investment opportunity, I believe, lies in air cargo, especially cargo terminals and integrated logistics around the India's new PPP airports. So government and industry targets aim to triple the air cargo capacity to 10 million tons by FY30. Powered by e-commerce, pharma, electronic exports that require fast, reliable, and time-definite logistics. This unlocks investments in cargo terminals, I would say cold chain infrastructure, digital platforms, and logistic parks around the new aviation hubs in Navi Mumbai and Noida. On the other hand, ground handling is rising steadily as passengers and flights increases. The returns are regulated and volume-centric, so it caps the thrill. The opportunities are not that exploding. Retail and lounges are crowded and JVs help you to enter. But I guess air cargo is the rocket fuel.
Interesting. And looking ahead to 2030, Riddhi, what excites you most about the Indian aviation future? The tech, the infrastructure path, or the new business models which are coming in?
According to recent studies, I think all three that you mentioned, technology, infrastructure, as well as the business models, are accelerating at the same time. And with India going to be the third largest aviation industry by 2030, I think it is imperative as well, because all three are dependent of each other. As per some statistics that I would mention, the market for airport development is growing to be $11 billion by 2030, and there would be more than 350 airports operational in the coming years, along with 100% FDI provision for both greenfield and brownfield investment opportunities. This, along with when we come to infrastructure bit of it, we can see a burgeoning increase with effective economic airlines coming up. Then we have penetration in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So all this combined along with the upgradation of technology that we see with, say, as small as the Yatra coming up, or everything being electronic, everything being systematically managed by the airports along with the aviation companies. I think all three together are fueling the aviation industry, and I think we'll be able to see exponential growth in the coming years.
What India is building in aviation is definitely unprecedented, with a target of 350 airports. Passenger traffic is soaring, ground handling is growing at 10% CAGR, and the $11 billion investment plan, along with a market full of tenders and upcoming partnership opportunities. This definitely isn't just growth, it's acceleration. Thank you so much, Vinita and Riddhi, for breaking this down with such clarity. And to everyone watching, if you want to stay ahead of India's next decade, this industry is definitely one to look out for. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Market Mindset with YNS. For deeper insights, you can definitely visit our website, www.yamada-spire.com. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next episode.